Hi drummers, it's Rob Litton here from drumstheword.com. Welcome to this free mini song lesson where I'm going to teach you the main parts, the coolest parts to the song Longview by Green Day, drummed by Tre Cool. This song was suggested over on my Facebook page, and so if you want to make your own song suggestions, then please go over there to do so. You'll find a link to my Facebook page beneath this video, and then when you're over there you'll see a post where, with a speech bubble asking you what songs you'd like to teach. You post your suggestions beneath there, then others get to vote on them, and then the most popular songs get chosen for future lessons like this was today. I've got 2 pages of free PDF notation for you to download from my website. You can find the link to these free PDFs again beneath this video. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different parts to the song that really in combination give you everything that Tre's doing throughout the entire song. So for the first sort of 4 or 5 examples, you're going to see a lot of variations on the floor, on the tom orchestration. Then of course we've also got the choruses as well when we're up on the open hi-hat, but we'll get to all that good stuff in good time. So let's start with the first part, which occurs right at the beginning of the song where Tre first comes in. So I've given you a 2-bar example here, and it really gives you the main drum beat to the song, if you like, the one that he plays the most throughout, the variation he plays the most. Now to make it harder for yourself, he's also stepping the hi-hat and quarter notes. So just to start off with, I'm going to leave out the hi-hat foot, and this is certainly something you can do. The hi-hat foot being stepped on quarter notes is definitely the icing on the cake. You don't have to have the hi-hat stepping in order to play this song, so please don't think you have to. It's just if you're at that level, if you want the extra challenge, then include it. Tre does on the recording when he plays it live. It certainly adds a little bit of time to the entire thing. It sounds very cool, but it's not essential, so don't beat yourself up. So just for now, I'm going to leave out the hi-hat foot. And actually, before we go into the example, I want to show you the skeleton rhythm that Tre's playing throughout the song. We're basically playing triplets, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and the swung 8th notes. And then occasionally those triplets are filled in, 1 and 2 and 3 triplet 4 and 1. But the right and left hand are basically playing this pattern throughout. You're then filling in the gaps wherever the triplets occur, and you'll see that actually the sticking makes sense, and you won't feel too uncomfortable playing the triplets because you're leading into it with your left hand or leading into it with your right hand. You'll see what I mean in a second. But that's the basic rhythm. Also, your left hand isn't always playing. Sometimes Tre just plays it once, as we're seeing in this first example. So now we've got that established, that's the basic rhythm. When you start to play these drum beats, you should start to feel that. So without the bass drum and hi-hat foot underneath, we're playing for the first bar 1 and 2 and 3 triplet 4 and 1. So you can see there for the beat 4, instead of playing 4 and, I played 4 and 1. So the left hand is always, or the hands are always playing right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. It's just where your hands are on the kit and whether you're filling in all the triplets. On top of that, what Tre does is he plays this bass drum pattern. It's very hard to hear on the recording, so I had to watch him play it live a few times. And occasionally you can hear it on the recording. But what he's playing most of the time with the bass drum is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now if you find missing out that bass drum on beat 3, and you probably will like me, you probably want to play that bass drum on beat 3 every time, then you could play 1 and 2 and 3, and that's going to work just as well for the song. But we're sticking to what Tre played on the recording. So we play 1 and 2 and 3 triplet 4 and 1. So you can hear I played 3 triplets and the bass drum fell down with that last triplet note. 3 triplet 4 and 1. 1 and 2 and 3 triplet 4 and 1. Into the second bar, which is basically the same as the first bar. I just wanted to, no, sorry, it's not. This is the 2-bar pattern he plays for the beginning of the song. So you can see in bar 2, he also plays just the single high tom on beat 2. So we get 1 and 2 and 3 triplet 4 and 1. So those 2 bars give you the 2 variations he plays. Let me put them together. 1 and 2 and 3 triplet 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 triplet 4 and 1. So you can see there, it's just where the left hand was playing there that made the variations. Finally, you can add the hi-hat foot in on quarter notes. And at a slow tempo, you might find that quite tricky, like I just demonstrated there. It was a bit sloppy. Actually, when you start to speed it up, if you're at that level where you can sort of have your hi-hat foot go on autopilot, it actually becomes a little bit easier. You can actually eventually start to ignore what your hi-hat foot is doing and just focus on the other limbs, believe it or not. Anyway, let me play those 2 bars for you up to speed without me yakking over the top so you can hear just the drums. So this next example occurs at 7 seconds, and I really wanted to include it just to show you the first bar, really, that he doesn't always play all the triplet notes on beat 3 as we did in the previous example. This is probably the first bar is probably the simplest version of the drum beat you can play throughout the song. The hands are playing this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Just right, left, left, right, left, left. It's just your left hand comes down to the floor tom for that last note. With the bass drum as well, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1. And then for the second bar, we basically got the same examples we had before. So put the 2 bars together slowly: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 triplet 4 and 1. And I messed up a little bit there. I played 2 and in the second bar. But if you're playing along to the song and you accidentally do that, then don't worry too much. Trey is improvising all over the place throughout the song, especially when you see him play it live. So, you know, if you accidentally play an extra note there, don't worry about it too much, like I won't worry about it too much. So let's hear those 2 bars played up to speed. So then 18 seconds, we get a repeating idea before it goes back into each verse, where we get a little open hi-hat stab at the end of the bar. So the drum beats 1 and 2 and 3 triplet 4, standard stuff we've gone over already, but then instead of playing 4 and or 4 and, he plays 4 and. And if your hi-hat is stepping on the quarter notes, you don't actually have to think about the opening and closing aspect of it, because naturally your hi-hat's going to be open when you strike it, and it's going to close on beat 1 of the next bar. So slowly, 1 and 2 and 3 triplet 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 triplet 4 and 1. And I accidentally played an extra bass on beat 3 there the first time I played it. So let's hear that a couple of times up to speed. So this next example occurs at 29 seconds, and this example I wanted to show you how Trey doesn't just play the extra triplet notes on beat 3. Sometimes he plays it from beat 2 or beat 4. So you can see in the first bar here, he plays 4 triplet 1, 4 triplet 1. Your hands will feel natural still. You're still going to feel like you're playing the basic rhythm, but you're just filling in that second note of the triplet there with your right hand on the floor tom. So slowly, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 triplet 1, 4 triplet 1. In the second bar, we go back to the 3 triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 triplet 4 and 1. So those 2 bars together give you the 2 sort of ideas where you're either tripleting on the downbeat of 2 and 4 or tripleting on the downbeat of 1 and 3. So slowly, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 triplet 1 and 2 and 3 triplet 4 and 1. That gives you your 2 sort of variations. Let's hear those 2 bars up to speed. So at 42 seconds, we're going into our first chorus, and I also wanted to include the preceding 2 bars because it was quite hard to hear on the mix, but I'm pretty sure this is what he's playing. He plays constant triplets from beat 3 all the way over to beat 1 of the second bar. So we get, for the first bar, 1 and 2 and 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 and 3 triplet, 4 and. It's actually and on the snare drum, but we'll go into that in a minute. Do that again with the bass drum underneath properly. 1 and 2 and 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 and 3 triplet, 4 and. So you can see that we're going from beat 3, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 and. Basically just that. So then we go into the drum fill before the chorus, and it's from the bar 2, the end of bar 2, and 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. I just hear the 1 bass drum being played on beat 1 there. If you wanted to keep the hi-hat stepping all the way through, that's fine, but I don't think Trey does it on the recording. So those 3 bars together, 1 and 2 and 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 and 3 triplet, 4 and 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. Then into our first chorus. So let's hear those 3 bars up to speed. So right after that drum fill from the preceding example, at 47 seconds we go into the first chorus. And Tre goes to the open hi-hat and he's playing quarter notes with his right hand, and the bass drum is the one that's shuffling underneath. So the first bar is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and you can hear those bass drum shuffle notes on the ands of each beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The second bar we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So a crash on beat 3 as well, and it ends with 4 ands. Instead of playing 4 and, it's 4 and. The extra snare drum note at the end. So that's the 2-bar drum beat that he plays through the chorus. Let's hear that up to speed. Then at 57 seconds, sort of near the end of the chorus before we go back into the verse, he plays some extra crash cymbal notes. So this is what this example was showing you. From the end of bar 1 into bar 2, we get 2 crash cymbals, which I'm going to play left-right. You could play right-right, but it's not what Tre does. It's also more natural once you get used to it to play left-right. So that first bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And it's with 2 bass drums, and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Beat 2, just for the one-time example, he doesn't play anything on the and of 2, so I haven't included it there. But he does play an extra crash cymbal on beat 3. 3 and 4 and 1. So 2 bars together, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1. And up to speed. So for the final variation that Tre does through the song, we've got this example at 1 minute, and it's really, again, the second bar I wanted to show you, so we'll get onto that in a second. The first bar is 1 and 2 and 3 triplet, 4 and 1, standard stuff. But then bar 2, we get 1 and 2 triplets. So sometimes, instead of just playing 2 and, he plays that floor tom note in between. 2 triplets, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4. So you can actually fill in that gap as well with the floor tom if you wanted to, and Tre does in this particular example. 1 and 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 and 1. 1 and 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 and 1. So 2 bars together. 1 and 2 and 3 triplet, 4 and 1 and 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 and 1. And up to speed. So then finally we got another section, just happens one off. The sort of middle 8 if you like. At 1 minute 46, Tre is moving the backbeat to the snare drum. He's still playing the same floor tom pattern, but the snare drum backbeat is on beat 2. So we get this kind of repeating pattern. 1 and 2 and 3 triplet, 4 and 1. So instead of playing 1 and 2 and 3 triplet, I'm playing 1 and 2. It's exactly the same orchestration, except we're just moving to the snare drum instead of the high tom. 1 and 2 and 3 triplet, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 triplet, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 triplet, 4 and 1. And let's, oh, by the way, before we go on to the actual version, I also included at the end of this example, well, I'll show you in a second, the sort of end of the song, end of the that section where he sort of plays 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. It's just constant triplet notes with the crash cymbal on 1 and 3. And you're just coming back to the snare drum for beat 2. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Where he just plays the bass drum on 1 and 3. So I just thought I'd include that as well. Anyway, here's that example played up to speed. So I hope you had fun with that. That was a lot of fun for me. Don't forget to download both pages of the free PDF from my website. Again, you'll find the link beneath this video. And you may have noticed also that this video, hopefully, with rendering going my way, was a little bit higher quality. So you can look forward to my videos being a better quality in the future. And while you're at my website downloading the free PDF, you might want to consider signing up to become an online member. And what I currently offer for $97 is a full year's online access to every single full video song lesson I've ever recorded and transcribed. And that's coming up to 500 full song lessons where, unlike this lesson, I teach you the song from start to finish. Every single bar is included. You get the fully transcribed PDF drum chart. Like I said, I've got almost 500 full video song lessons up on the website already, including a ton of Green Day lessons up there already as well. And so thank you for signing up. I'll give you access to hundreds more little videos teaching you many, many famous drum beats, fills, and even drum solos. I give you 3 ebooks I've written over the years containing hundreds more famous drum beats, fills, and solos, a lot of which Tre Cool feature in. And then over the year of your subscription, you also gain instant online access to all the new material that I upload for my members. And I record new lessons every week unless I'm ill or on holiday. So you've got lots of cool stuff to look forward to over the year of your subscription. But if you've got any questions about any of that, then feel free to email me, rob@drumsoftheword.com. And until the next drum lesson together, toodle pip and happy drumming to you.